Hello, welcome back. Last time, Michael woke up again in the middle of the night. This time, there was no noise, no scratches, but he woke up and he said that something didn't feel right. So let's have a look. Oh shit. The mask is gone. Once again, I was awakened during a bizarre dream by those scratching noises. I'm not sure how effective that scene just now was in a Let's Play, but let me tell you, when I played this on my own, all alone, with headphones, and I turned around, opened the door, and Mask was suddenly there staring at me, that was pretty intense when you play it yourself. I hope it's still scary if you watch it. You remember last time we went into the basement, or wanted to go into the basement, Michael said that it's too dark, but now we have a light with oil in it. So there's no excuse anymore. The room was too dark to see anything. Pouting, I barely gathered the strength to leave the basement. The last drop of oil inside the lamp had been consumed. was too confused to think straight and decided, almost against my will, to return to bed. If I was him, I would have probably pushed fucking cupboard against the door of my sleeping room. Or walked through the forest to the next city, although maybe not. My third and final day inside Blackwood Manor began with an odd feeling of expectation. Still shaken about the occurrences of last night, I managed to pull myself together and focus on finding out what really happened inside this place. This is the day on which we shall try to find answers. It was incredibly cold inside the house now. Let's do something against that. The wood was now burning nicely in the fireplace. First of all, let's do the usual and annoy Jerry. Let's see what he has to say to this.
Who is it?
It's me.
The ghost hunter. Any contact with the other world yet?
Actually, I'm not sure. Jerry, I'm definitely not alone in this house.
What are you talking about?
Last night I saw something down below. It was moving. I wasn't dreaming, and I'm not making this up.
Are you sure it wasn't a mutant rat?
Definitely no rat.
I'm calling the police.
No, not just yet.
Michael, for Christ's sake, you could have a burglar inside the house.
This is no burglar, Jerry. It's much more interesting than that, and I want to figure this out by myself.
Have you taken leave of your senses?
Just promise me you won't call anyone. I can do this on my own.
Whatever. Just call me if you need any help. I'm driving there today.
Right. Bye.
If I was Michael, I would probably leave right now. But that's just me. He seems to be obsessed now with this. Now, let's have a look around. We have a few keys that we haven't used. Or at least... yeah, here's a garage that we have not investigated yet. Because had we gone here earlier, this would have prevented us from going in there. But I think we have a key now to enter. A strong smell of aged oil was infecting the barn-like garage. There was an old and dusty bicycle in the garage. It seemed to have some sort of device attached to it. The odd device was attached to the rear wheel. Okay. A small crate was sitting near the bicycle. Now we have a screwdriver and pliers. Of all the various items lying on the table, only the toolbox on the far left seemed to have a few useful things. That's the game telling us not to check anything else, I suppose. Oh wait, what's that? A crowbar. Nice. One classy and old automobile. Still, I didn't want to get very close, as it gave me the strange feeling that something was about to jump at me from the inside. Whoa, thanks. there's another way that we can take that we haven't checked yet. This way. You can go to the right here as well, but we don't need that yet. We're going to go straight. Because that leads us to some kind of, garden house? The greenhouse. The door to the greenhouse was stuck, probably due to some serious rusting of its hinges. I almost succeeded, but in spite of my efforts, the door wouldn't budge. Well, we still have some oil, I think. I poured some oil on the hinges of the door and hoped that it would reduce the rust. And indeed, it would. A thick mist struck me in the eyes as I entered the barren greenhouse, and I wasn't quick enough to read the rest of that. If I remember correctly, we can go here later. It's good that I open it now, but I think we can't do what we have to do there yet. But what we can do now, is we go back to the kitchen, and there is a crypt that we can check out. Because there's one door in the kitchen here that we haven't opened yet. This one. Remember, there's the kitchen, there's the basement, there's the maid's room. But here's another door. And this one leads outside again. Just taking a closer look at everything because I like the atmosphere of this. Look at that. A thick wire was tied between both handles, securing the door to the crypt. We could have already gone here on the first day. Use of corrosion had stiffened the wire and the door handles, making it impossible to manipulate with my bare hands. Yeah, we could have already gone here on the first day, but we wouldn't have been able to open that. But now that we have the pliers, we can actually open it. And we get the wire from it. That's nice. Let's check. A cold shiver ran down my spine as I entered the decaying crypt. The foul smell of rotting flesh seemed to have persisted throughout the years. Large windows in the dome above allowed some faint light into the crypt. Several candle holders were attached to the walls, but alas, there were no candles in the vicinity. Let's see. Catherine Blackwood. According to the plaques, both Mr. and Mrs. Blackwood had died in the same year, 1963. Curiously enough, this coffin was completely empty. Oh, a corpse in advanced stages of decomposition was inside the coffin. It was Disgusting. Whoever that was, I could sense a feeling of terror in its dead face. But why is one coffin empty? Shouldn't this be the coffins of James and Catherine Blackwood? Huh. I couldn't imagine what the purpose of the grating in the floor was. Obviously nobody down there was in need of fresh air. Well, and there is a way to go down. So let's see what's down there. Do you see that? This coffin is open. Not sure I'm happy about that. This coffin was half opened and I was horrified to glimpse the remains of a dead cat in it. Strange. There were several coffins in this room, probably belonging to the most important ancestors of the family. Most of the plaques were too badly eroded to make out what they said. Seeing one dead body inside the crypt had been enough for me, so I guess he doesn't want to open this one. Oh, that's a coffin for a child. One of the coffins was considerably smaller than the rest. Even though it was in better shape than the rest, it was too dark to make out what the plaques read. So we still don't know the name of the kid, but this must be the coffin. The prospect of witnessing the decaying body of a baby wasn't very tempting. Now, I think what we have to do is, there should be a stone lying around here somewhere. There it is. And we're going to throw that at the windows. I guess we have to stand here. We're trying to throw it at one of the windows to get more light, so we can read the plaque. I hurled the stone at the window, but sadly it missed and bounced off the ceiling, flying out of sight. Great. Now we gotta find it. There it is. That was easy. Let's go back and try again. This is a great place to get stuck as well if you don't think of trying again. But actually when I try it a second time it works. Again I hurled the stone at the window with all my strength, and this time my aim was true. The glass collapsed, throwing shards in every direction. Thankfully none of them hit me. Even though it was in better shape than... Yeah. It's still too dark. We need something else. This is something where you can get stuck pretty well, pretty good as well. After leaving the crypt, I stopped to think for a few seconds. I only found one body inside, but there were two plaques. Something was evidently out of place here. First of all, we need even more light. But our lamp ran out of oil, if you remember. So we have to make do with something else. And I think it took me a while to figure this out on my first playthrough. But there was a mirror in the main bedroom. We go upstairs. Take a right here and enter the main bedroom. Where the safe was. You see there's a mirror here. And we have a screwdriver that we can use to unscrew it. Now we have the mirror. We can combine it with the wires and use that on the place in the crypt. I'll show you. The candle holders. Probably this one. No. Ah, there we go. Yeah, this one. Several candle holders. If we use it on this one, then the light that shines down here gets reflected. And now there's only an R. The inscription was too eroded, but I could make out the letter R on the far left. Well, at least one letter. Let's leave this eerie place. Now, we should, I think it's another point where we can actually call Jerry again. Because we can tell him about the empty coffin, maybe.
Hi, Jerry.
Michael, I was worried about you. Are you doing okay?
Yes, I'm fine, and I think I know the identity of my intruder.
Tell me, who is it?
James Blackwood.
The Blackwood person? Michael, are you serious? That the ghost of the murderer is
because the
roaming
coffin
house?
was empty, he thinks
I'm not
that's...
talking about his ghost, Jerry.
James.
I'm talking about him.
What the heck do you mean?
I mean James Blackwood himself, alive in this house.
What? How is that possible?
That might
It makes
explain what we saw in the
sense.
basement.
After murdering his wife and realizing what he has done, he begs for help to Christopher Milton, who fakes his death.
Milton, the previous owner? Michael, you're losing your mind. Even if he managed to hide himself, how did he survive all this time? Milton has been missing for years.
Good point, but I'm sure a desperate man like Blackwood would have found a way.
Yes, by turning into a ghost. Wait a minute. Yeah, I have it right here. James Blackwood passed away on June 1963. Would you please stop this?
Jerry, just listen to me. I know I'm right. There's only Mrs. Blackwood's body in the crypt. His is missing.
Oh God, Michael. You've really gone out of your mind. Digging into coffins, what next? Desecrating the chapel?
Whatever it takes to solve this mystery. You can only find stories like this in books.
Precisely why I'm beginning to wonder about your sanity.
You'll see.
Good. Let's also call the bank. The number that we found in the safe. Okay, sorry about that little cut. I had the number for the bank that I wanted to call, but I chose the wrong options in the conversation, and that meant that I didn't get all the information that you can get. And of course I want to show you all the information that you can get, so I had to redo this, and this time I'm going to choose the correct answers. What was the rest of the number? 9.
but I need some help.
If you chose the first option, he will get suspicious.
It's about James Thomas Blackwood. Do you have a customer callback?
I'm sorry, sir. I can't give you that
I
kind
mean,
of
he still
information.
gets suspicious, but now you can say that you are
My
Dr.
name
Mill.
is Christopher Milton, a renowned doctor and good friend of the Blackwood family, and I demand some respect.
All right, sir. Please, just hold on for a few moments. Yes. I have a customer listed as James Blackwood here.
Good. I need to know about any recent banking activity in this account.
What kind of banking activity, sir?
Well, you tell me. Any withdrawals, payments?
Look, sir, I'm really sorry, but I can only give that information to Mr. Blackwood himself.
So that means the account is still active?
Well, yeah. It means I can't give you this information, sir. You said your name was...
I won't waste your time anymore. Good day.
Okay. So the account is still active. Now, next thing to do is we check the attic again, because we got some information when Jerry read to us that Blackwood died in June 63. That means that now we can have another look at the newspapers and check for a newspaper from June 1963. The article wasn't as informative as I had hoped, but there was a phone number scribbled on the page. The Journal, Northumberland Daily Newspaper, Wednesday, 1st June, 1963. Following the shocking news that became of public knowledge last week, we must now inform about the sinister outcome of the story that has been in the mind of every citizen of our town these past few days. Mr. James Blackwood has died at the age of 56 due to a heart attack, allegedly because of the pressure and stress caused by the astonishing accusation by Mrs. Eva Mariani, former maid of the family. This puts a sudden end to the case deferred by the authorities. Police Chief William Bailey said, "It saddens me that Mr. Blackwood was never brought to a proper trial. No matter what kind of excuses could be possibly made, the death of Miss Catherine Blackwood is a fact. I'm fully convinced that he was guilty." Dr. Christopher Milton is said to be taking care of a funeral that nobody will attend, and all the belongings of the Blackwood family are now in his possession. That seems to be the reason why he lived there after the Blackwood family died. Silently, Rothbury returns to daily life, turning the page over one of its darkest chapters. Many will wonder in the years to come what really happened inside Blackwood Manor. And then some unrelated article. So now we have the phone number of William Bailey, and we can try to call him. See if he's still alive. Whoops. Now his number was 01665. And then 65217.
Hi, are you Mr. William Bailey?
That's me. And you are?
Yes, my name is Michael Arthate. I'm a journalist for a local newspaper in Rothbury.
I see. And what's this all about?
Well, you're the former police chief of this town, aren't you?
Indeed. I served many years ago.
And you were once in charge of a famous, or should I say, infamous case here?
Ah, bloody hell. Don't tell me this is about James Blackwood.
Well, Yes, I'm writing a story for my newspaper. The most famous police cases of Northumberland.
Have you got any idea how many times I've talked about this? Go to your nearest library. I'm sure you'll find plenty of information about Blackwood there.
Please, Mr. Bailey, I beg you. It won't be the same if I can have the information from someone who was there, and no less than the renowned William Bailey of Rothbury.
All right, son, spare me the nonsense. What is it you want to know?
Well, in the first place, what did Ava Mariani see exactly?
She saw enough, son. James Blackwood was dragging a shape into a hole in the garden. At first, Mrs. Mariani couldn't realize what it was, but eventually she made out the dead body of Catherine Blackwood with a serious wound.
And Blackwood was automatically deemed guilty?
He was found digging his wife's son.
Why did James Blackwood never appear before a jury?
When you're someone as renowned and famed as James Blackwood was, you can pretty much avoid the authorities. However, you can't avoid justice. And justice was brought upon James Blackwood.
Justice? How?
He died shortly after the accusation. You should know about that.
What happened to Dr. Christopher Milton?
How should I know? You bet your life that slimy worm was up to something. I couldn't prove it, though I spent years investigating him. A shame we couldn't implicate him as much as James Blackwood.
Are you saying he could have had something to do with the murder?
Blackwood and Milton were very intimate. Milton did the impossible to aid his friend, and even clear his name after he died. You do the math.
And was ever determined the cause of death of Catherine Blackwood?
Yes, partly. Mrs. Mariani managed to see her throat was slit open. Ripped, she would say. It must have been horrible for the poor girl.
Still, everything sounds so vague, as if something were missing.
Are you questioning my performance on this case, son?
No, sir, not at all. I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, why a proper autopsy was never done.
An autopsy to whom?
Please, sir, this is very important to me, and I could really use your help. I'm trying to fit all the pieces of this mystery together.
Mystery? What mystery? You must be one of those people that just love splitting hairs, don't you?
I don't think I understand, sir.
Listen, son, that cold-blooded bastard murdered his wife, God knows why. But he and his fancy doctor did the impossible to hamper our investigations. You don't have to be a brilliant detective to realize Blackwood did it.
There's always a reason behind a murder. Nobody has ever found out why Blackwood did what he did.
Psychopaths don't need any reasons. And James Blackwood turned into one, precisely.
There's got to be something else. I can't believe Blackwood flipped just like that one sunny day. It doesn't make any sense.
People flip, son. You can be flipping right now without knowing it.
Well, then tell me how Blackwood reacted when you pulled his wife from beneath the ground.
I beg your pardon.
I mean Catherine Blackwood's body when you dug in the garden of the manor.
Like I said, they hampered the investigation. We never managed to set one foot inside the manor. What kind of bloody journalist are you, son?
But are you telling me you never actually retrieved the body?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Now, if you don't mind.
But wait, this doesn't make any sense.
Stop wasting my time, damn it. I was enjoying my retirement until you had the brilliant idea of calling me. I don't want to hear anything else about this case ever again.
Please, Mr. Bailey, don't...
Leave me alone.
Huh. Interesting. No. So the corpse was never found because the police couldn't properly investigate. Let's have a look at the mailbox, and look at this. Even though I was anxious to read the letter, I tried to remind myself that I should give a raise to my efficient assistant. It's the letter that we sent to Barbara, our assistant, so she could translate it. So it was the Italian letter that, back in the 60s, the maid of the house wrote, that we sent to our assistant. April 28th, 1963. Dear Mother, I spent the whole morning running a few errands for the Blackwood family, and on the way back, many thoughts crossed my mind. I take back what I said. I want to return home. Things haven't got any better here. Everyone is behaving mysteriously, and they try to avoid me. I do understand that they must still be disturbed about the death of their son, but it has been almost 2 years since that already. I feel like an alien. I don't belong here anymore, and I find it hard to sleep at night. There's too much activity in this house, too much moving around, and that is unnerving me. I feel something terrible is going on here, and I want to go as far away as possible. I will miss Mrs. Blackwood dearly, as she has always been kind to me, but I'm afraid my health is at stake. And I've been seeing some strange things too. I can't explain it, but I think someone did something very wrong. That Dr. Milton would often come to talk with the sir for many hours, and nobody would allow me upstairs, although I've been secretly taking pictures there. I hope this doesn't upset you, but don't worry. They are well hidden under a loose board beneath my bedside table. Please, Mother, forgive me. I know I should have listened to you. It's not like I'm stubborn. I just wanted to wait and see if things would get any better for myself. They haven't, and that's why I'm asking you for a place to stay until I sort out my situation. Call me as soon as you can. I usually have to stay in town until 5 o'clock, but lately I've been coming back about an hour earlier. I just want to leave this place. I confess that I am scared. I'll be waiting, and please hurry. With love, Eva. And with that, we just learned that there is a hidden place in the maid's bedroom, where she apparently hid some pictures. Now I wonder what will be on these pictures, or what will be there at all. Will it be pictures or something else? Let's find out next time. Goodbye.